without further ado, on to you, Anthony.
What in tarnation? Who just threw that? Huh. If you look inside, there's a credit card. What does it mean? I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Matt, for throwing that over here so I can start the next part of this series. And for those of you who are watching who are unfamiliar about what's going on, this is my part of the special series that was created by some of the other fellow finance and credit card YouTubers out there. Namely, these guys right here. And since I'm next up on the list, I have to talk about one of my favorite credit cards of all time, which is the YOTTA credit card. I don't really feel like holding this card up the whole time, so I'm actually just going to put it in this corner right about here. You like that party trick? Okay, so the YOTTA credit card is honestly one of the most unique and I think could be the most beneficial credit cards in the world today. And it's really for 5 different reasons, so before I go into all of that, just make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're new here, as well as if you like that intro, because surprisingly, it took a while. So firstly, right off the bat, we always have to mention there is no annual fee with this credit card whatsoever, as well as no fees whatsoever, including no foreign transaction fees. And when you apply for this credit card, there's actually no hard pull whatsoever. It's a soft pull, so it's not going to affect your credit score. And now with that out of the way, let's go into the main benefits of why this card could be one of the most amazing. Now firstly, and bear with me here as I try to explain this in full. So the first benefit and the most important benefit is you're going to get up to a 2% chance of getting the item you just purchased essentially for free. That's right, I know that seems pretty crazy, but let me show you something. YOTTA states that depending if you set up direct deposit or if you have a friend referral, a lot of different things you can do to boost your odds on this credit card so that you can actually get up to a 2% chance or a 1 in 50 chance of getting the item for free. And you can have even higher odds if you use some of their select merchants that they show on their website. And if you take me personally, I've been using this card almost exclusively for the past month just to prepare for this video. And sadly, no, I did not get anything for free yet, but I guess I'm still holding out. But I did see a lot of anecdotes of a lot of people who did get their stuff for free. Even just like right here, they sent me an email that these last few people have gotten their rent paid for free. Which you can imagine is giving you way more value than any other credit card will probably ever give you outside of a lifetime. Because looking right here, if you got $2,000 essentially for free just because you use this credit card, I guess that would be the equivalent of spending like $200,000 on a card that only gives you 1% back on all purchases. And I would say that this card makes the most sense, especially if you're using it for items that don't fall into any bonus categories. Like for example, I don't have any bonus categories for vitamins, and I spend about $100 to $150 every single month on vitamins and supplements. So I thought to myself, what's my break-even point, and how many times would I have to use this card, and how many times would I have to get the purchase for free for it to break even with that of a comparable credit card? Let's say I was spending $100 every single month on vitamins, and I was using a cashback credit card that only gave me 1%. So now $100 a month is $1,200 a year. And let's say I spent that exact same amount for the next 8 years, which amounted to around $9,600 or $10,000. And if I got only 1% cash back, that would give me what? 10,000 points, right? Which would actually equal about $100 worth of value, depending on how you redeem it. You might already see where I'm going with this. But instead, let's say if I use my YOTTA credit card for those same $100 a month for the vitamins. So wait a second, you're telling me that if I just get that item for free one time in the span of an 8-year period, I essentially break even? That seems pretty crazy, and the math really does work out. So that's essentially what I've done. I've exclusively put all my subscription services that are around $50 to $100 every single month on this card exclusively. So that in and itself is why I love this card so much, but there are a lot more benefits. And secondly, every time you spend money on your credit card, you're going to be getting 20% of that cost back in the form of lottery tickets. Now I know this all seems like a lot, so let me explain. So let's just say you spend $5 on your YOTTA credit card. You're going to be getting back 1 ticket into the drawing every single week, as opposed to just your general savings or checking account. And you can see that this is very similar to that of a typical lottery, as well as a Powerball at the end of each week. And you can see that their prizes are pretty hefty, if anything from $10 million to winning a free Tesla to all the way to just about 10 cents. And just looking at my personal account, I've always kept around $250 in here, which over the last month has yielded me close to $10 or even maybe a little more. And just using some quick back-of-the-napkin math, you can see that if I have $250 in my account and I got around $10 back, that's essentially getting a 5% return on my money in just the span of a month. Which I'm not saying this, somebody's saying this, but that might already be better than the stock market. Now, of course, you always have to read the fine print, and, the results may vary, but this was my personal experience, and I definitely think it's very repeatable. You also get a lot of other benefits if you refer friends and set up direct deposit. You'll get some extra tickets in the next week's contest. So a lot of little fun things you could do, but let's get back to the credit card. Now thirdly, like it says, build your credit with every swipe. So now this card is a credit card, but it almost acts like a debit card. They basically state that your total limit on this card is only limited to the balance you have in your account. And I'm not really sure how they do this, but I'm sure it's a lot of little things behind the scenes. But when you spend money on the credit card, it still gets reported as a credit transaction, so you're building your credit. But they also deduct that amount immediately from your balance, almost like a debit card would. So you pretty much have the perfect debit, unsecured, credit building credit card, if that makes sense. So I would say for this reason that this card is actually the best beginner credit card that you can get, as there's pretty much zero risk, as your only limit is the balance that you put into the account. So let me move on because I'm too excited. Please, if you're still with me with this crazy credit card, hit the like and subscribe button if you like it so far. And you can see right here in the last note that there is no interest or fees whatsoever. And like I said just before, it almost acts like a debit card, so the amount that you spend on the credit card gets deducted immediately, which means you can never be charged interest on your remaining balance. Which again just adds to a level of security that you get if you're maybe a beginner. And then lastly, even though I usually mention this at the beginning, is they do have a sign-up bonus. But now that you understand the whole ticket and lottery system, now I can talk about this. So the sign-up bonus on this credit card is you're going to be getting 2,000 bonus tickets into next week's contest after you spend $2,000 within a 4-month period. And if you're wondering on that math, you would actually have to have $50,000 in your account to be able to get $2,000 in bonus tickets every single week. And then this card, like many other cards, has the MasterCard Zero Liability Protection, which pretty much protects you in the event of unauthorized purchases and fraud, which I would hope comes standard with all credit cards nowadays. So yeah, those are all the reasons why I think this card is one of the most unique cards, and it really incentivizes a lot of good habits. The accountability is great because you're only limited to your credit limit and you can't overspend. It incentivizes saving, which is always a good thing because you're going to be getting tickets back on every dollar that you put in. And you build your credit all the while you use this card, and if you happen to get something for free, amazing. And of course, what's a video without a small affiliate link? So if you guys are interested, I do have my own personal YOTTA link down below. If you do decide to sign up for this card, you're going to get some bonus tickets, I'm going to get some bonus tickets, and maybe we can win $10 million together, eh? And I told you already, this video was a part of a series that I'm doing with my fellow credit card YouTubers. So now it's time for me to pass on my torch and hand it off to the next guy. Eric, back to you.